And now...
What is this?
I know you're gonna dig this.
This is the Flatland Sports Podcast.
Where do you come from? Lubbock, Texas?
Lubbock, Texas.
A place called Lubbock.
I wonder if they think I'm so gorgeous back in Lubbock.
What do you care about Lubbock? You're big time now.
I'm just a little homesick, that's all.
Is that what you want, Larry, to spend the night in Lubbock, Texas at a day's end with a $15 voucher from Cinnabon?
Lubbock? No, it's near Lubbock.
What's it like there?
It's flat, real flat. You stand on a coffee can, you can see Colorado.
How are you doing from across the Great Plains of West Texas? This is the Flatland Sports Podcast, free and available worldwide, exclusively on YouTube. I will be looking at getting it back on Spotify in the near future, hopefully on Apple Podcasts and anywhere you get podcasts from. For Flatland Sports, I am Christopher Johnson. Not a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk Texas Tech baseball, Texas Tech softball. We'll have, of course, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and more. But first, this episode of the Flatland Sports Podcast is powered by Midwest Helmets, where owner Dallas Thompson is out turning football art into a full-on fan experience. If you've ever wanted a custom helmet of any team, any design, or a wild concept straight from your imagination, Dallas can make it happen. Want a classic double T like the one behind me? He'll do it. A Leech era bass boat glitter helmet? He'll do it. You need something for your fantasy football squad? He'll build that too. If you're a UNT fan and you're pining for the days of the old swastika helmet, he'll make that one too. Whatever you're dreaming up, Dallas will bring it to life with incredible attention to detail. These are one-of-a-kind helmets that will level up your office, man cave, studio, anywhere you rep your team. To order, just send Midwest Helmets a DM on their Facebook page or Instagram. The link will be in the description. And if you mention Flatland Sports in your message, you will score 10% off your custom football helmet. Midwest Helmets, custom, bold, and built to stand out. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're here right now, please do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It is free for you. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps me tremendously. Texas Tech baseball dropped 2 of 3 against number 17 West Virginia last weekend, falling to 19-16 overall and 6-10 in Big 12 play. And then they fell to University of Incarnate Word last night. The Red Raiders showed offensive life with big ninth inning rallies and solid two-way play, but struggled with late inning pitching as usual and timely hitting in the losses. So let's recap the weekend. Number 17 West Virginia Mountaineers came to Lubbock at Danlaw Field, Rip Griffin Park. Game 1 was a loss, 8-12. Tech out-hit West Virginia, but faltered with a 6-run West Virginia ninth. The offensive highlights include 15 hits. Jesse Rusnick was 3 for 5, 2 RBIs, and a double. Tracer Lopez, 3 for 5, 2 RBIs, 2 runs, 1 RBI, 2 doubles. He had an RBI in the ninth. Connor Schaus, 2 RBIs, a double in the fifth, 3 total RBIs. Caden Ferrero, 2 for 4, an RBI single in the ninth. Kyler Thompson, 2 for 5, a double, a stolen base. Tech rallied in the ninth to make it 12-8, but left the tying run on base. On the pitching mound, Lucas Perko pitched 5 innings, had 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Johnny Lode pitched 1.2 innings, had 5 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of them earned, 1 walk, 0 strikeouts, and he was credited with the loss. Logan Addison, 1.1 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs, 4 strikeouts. He was the highlight of the relief pitching. West Virginia erupted for 6 runs in the ninth on hits, walks, and a 3-run double. So on to Game 2 on Saturday, the Red Raiders got the win, 4-1. Jackson Byrne and Logan Bevis outdueled number 17 West Virginia for the strong win at home. The offensive highlights include 12 hits. Lincoln Garcia was 3 for 4, 1 run, and 2 really good defensive plays. Logan Hughes had 2 hits, 1 run. Jesse Rusnick, 2 hits, 1 RBI. Tracer Lopez, 2 hits, 1 RBI. He had a clutch bases loaded single in the 8th. Matt Quintnar had an RBI single in the 8th. Coleman Ryan had an infield hit and 1 RBI. Tech scored 3 in the 8th to break the 1-1 tie. On the pitching mound, Jackson Burns pitched 7.2 innings, had 6 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 0 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Took a shutout into the 8th, the first Tech starter to do so this season. Logan Bevis was credited with the win. He's 1-1. Pitched 1.1 innings, 1 hit, 0 runs, 0 walks, 1 strikeout. Retired the side in 4 pitches in the 8th and worked around the 9th inning double. West Virginia scored their only run on a solo home run in the 8th. And then we moved to game 3 on Sunday. That was a loss 2-10. Tech was held in check as West Virginia pulled away late with 7 runs in the final 2 innings. Another late game collapse. Offense put up 8 hits. Tracer Lopez was 3 for 3 with 1 RBI. He had a sac fly in the 6th. Jesse Resnick had 2 hits and a double. Caden Ferraro, an RBI that was via a caught flyout. And Tech went 0-12 with runners in scoring position. On the pitching mound, Adam Hayes pitched 4 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of them earned, 0 walks, 0 strikeouts. Connor Mohan pitched 3.1 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks and a strikeout. Logan Addison came in and pitched 0.2 innings with 1 hit and 0 runs. Bryce Suter came in for 1 series. That was 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 of them earned, and 1 walk. Jacob Rogers came in, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 0 walks and a strikeout. And West Virginia added 3 in the 8th and 4 in the 9th to win the game. Player of the weekend was Tracer Lopez. Multi-hit games across the series, including 3 for 5 on Friday and a 3 for 3 Sunday with key RBIs, clutch hitting, and solid all-around play. The offense absolutely one of the bright spots of this team, and certainly much improved from teams past, but not enough to overcome the pitching woes that have plagued you for the last 3 to 5 years. Oh, and then one big thing that came from this game, Lucas Perko, absolutely one of, if not the best pitcher in the rotation, out for, as Tim Tadlock put it, some time. I don't know if sometime means a week. I don't know if it means a month. I don't know if it means out for the season, but a very, very weak pitching staff that is very, very short on depth, and now you lose arguably your best arm. The official stat of the weekend, 35 hits across 3 games. You had strong offensive output, 14 runs total as usual, but pitching allowed 23 runs this weekend, most of them occurring in the 8th and 9th innings. Texas Tech offense showed a fight with multi-hit games from Resnick, Lopez, and Garcia, and Ferraro. Multiple players contributing in the order, including strong defense from Thompson and Garcia. It was a 1-2 series loss to number 17 West Virginia. You held your own for the most part with West Virginia. Just the late game collapses, the late inning collapses. And that dropped your Big 12 record to 6-10. You bounced back Saturday, but couldn't sustain any momentum as you take a loss to University of Incarnate Word. And correction from earlier, it was the game against University of Incarnate Word where Lucas Perko was injured. Still waiting on an update about Lucas Perko. Upcoming games, you have a weekend series at Utah, in Salt Lake City, Utah. The first game is Friday. The first pitch is at 7 p.m. Saturday, first pitch is at 3 p.m. And Sunday, first pitch is at 2 p.m. All 3 games stream on ESPN+. Which leads me to the next part of our show. We're just going to go straight into it, because this is something that there have been rumbles about, and a lot of people thinking about this for a while, but is it time to have a difficult conversation that maybe many Tech fans have been avoiding? Maybe many Tech fans have not been avoiding. Many Tech fans may be frustrated that we haven't had this conversation yet. But is it time to have a difficult conversation about Tim Tadlock? Texas Tech baseball dropped another Big 12 series last week, and this time to West Virginia. Red Raiders lost the rubber match 10-2 on Sunday, After splitting the first two games, Tech now sits at 20-15 overall, but 6-9 in Big 12 play. And it's an improvement from last season. You were 20-33 with a 13-17 mark in conference. And before that, 33-26, 12-17 in Big 12 play. The last NCAA tournament appearance came in 2023. You had a regional exit against Florida. Your last super regional was 2021, a tough home loss to Stanford. And your last College World Series run was 2019. You were eliminated by Michigan after knocking off Arkansas and Florida State with a real shot at the finals. One of your better appearances in the College World Series, you had in the first game, if I'm remembering correctly, the first game against Michigan, your starter just didn't live up to the moment. Had to go out, and I think the second inning, and you burned a bunch of your relief arms in that game. So by the time you get Michigan again after taking down Arkansas and Florida State, you were just out of pitchers. You had in 2020 a team that should have been one of the best in program history, but COVID ended that season before Big 12 play even began, and since then it's been a steady decline. So what happened? It's both easy and difficult to point the finger at Tim Tadlock right now. Easy, the head coach is ultimately responsible for the success and failure of a program, and results are what they are, and they're not good right now. But at the same time, Tim Tadlock has taken Texas Tech baseball to heights never before seen in Lubbock. He was hired in 2013 after Dan Spencer's tenure, a program that was producing Major League Baseball talent like a blue blood, but rarely winning games. In his introductory press conference, Tadlock boldly stated that he planned to be in Omaha in just 2 seasons. And fast forward to 2014, Texas Tech threw out the final out against the College of Charleston and earned the program's first ever trip to the World Series. That moment will remain an all-time favorite memory for many Red Raider fans, myself included. I couldn't get a ticket to that game. I was parked outside the left field wall. I was hoping to maybe snag a home run ball while I listened to the game. And just the atmosphere that I could see over the wall was incredible. Just a great moment for Texas Tech. And Tim Tadlock's responsible for that moment. Absolutely. The program was in the gutter. It was worse than it is right now in the Dan Spencer years before Tadlock took over. And from there, Texas Tech progressively got better. 3 Big 12 regular season championships, 3 more College World Series appearances. Each time it's closer and closer to a chance to play in the final series for a national title. And after COVID, Texas Tech looked like it was ready to pick up right where they left off, even after the gap year, until that shocking super regional loss that came to an underdog Stanford team here in Lubbock. And from that point on forward, the slide has been noticeable. Clearly, the changing college sports landscape has hit Texas Tech baseball hard. Tim Tadlock has built a success on recruiting and developing pitchers at a high level and maintaining an elite bullpen. Many players who pitched in relief at Tech were good enough to start anywhere else. And that's how you won these games. That's how you made it to World Series over and over and over again with your not just elite pitching, but pitching out of the bullpen. So when the transfer portal opens, those same players who were sitting and waiting their turn at Texas Tech and you knew were good enough to start anywhere else, all of a sudden had the option to leave and start immediately instead of waiting their turn behind the depth at Texas Tech. So is this another case that we've seen so many times in so many sports of a great coach who simply has not been able to pivot into the new era of college sports? We've seen it before. Plenty of Hall of Fame coaches, Nick Saban in football, Mike Krzyzewski in basketball, legends who built program on old school principles suddenly looked out of step with the rules when the rules changed overnight. So is Tim Tadlock, for all of his strengths as a developer, a strategist, and a program builder, just not built for the NIL and portal era? He's an old school coach, no doubt. He's not flashy. He's not a natural salesman. He's built everything on recruiting talent and developing it the right way in Lubbock, and NIL complicates that picture even more. Texas Tech is one of the wealthiest schools in the country from an NIL standpoint. It's become a running joke at this point. It's a meme. But that wealth doesn't necessarily mean that every sport is wealthy here. Unlike football, who has Cody Campbell, and basketball, who has Womble and Sellers, and even softball, who has Tracy Sellers. Baseball lacks that singular dominant booster driving high, consistent, high-level support. You have Patrick Mahomes, but I think the support from him comparatively is going to be minimal. As much as Patrick Mahomes supports Texas Tech baseball, he's not going to support it the way Cody Campbell supports football. And as we sit now, schools like Arkansas, LSU that can just outbid Texas Tech for top recruits and lure away roster talent with more lucrative deals, even on a non-revenue sport like baseball. So Texas Tech is trying to fight back now with a new revenue sharing model that will allow baseball to offer up to 34 full scholarships instead of the old 11.7 equivalency limit. And we'll have to wait and see, but that hopefully should close the gaps. Now, at least at a bare minimum, players won't have to choose between paying their own way to play at Tech or getting a free ride somewhere else at a school like Arkansas, LSU, Vanderbilt that already offered full scholarships to the entire roster. But will it be enough is the problem. The sobering reality may actually be that it doesn't fully matter who the skipper is right now. Maybe if Tadlock truly is the best coach for your program, and he was for a long time and may still be, then it doesn't matter who you put in. As long as players can enter the portal and freely and more baseball-centric programs can offer bigger financial incentives, the era of consistent Texas Tech baseball dominance may just simply be over, at least in its previous form. But if sports have taught us anything, is that nothing lasts forever. Not the good times, not the bad times. Texas Tech baseball has climbed mountains before under Tadlock. The question many of us must ask now, honestly, is whether it's time for a new voice. Someone who can navigate the modern landscape the way Grant McCaslin or Joey McGuire have done in their respective sports. Or whether Tadlock can still find a way to adapt and learn more on the climb. And more specifically, if he can get the right support that he needs financially, maybe this revenue share model is the answer. Can Tadlock turn it around? There certainly has been improvement this year. Let's give credit where credit is due. It hasn't been an absolute dumpster fire. If we're watching the curve, it was trending downward. It dipped a little bit, maybe not all the way upward, but leveled out at least a little bit with the way your offensive playing, and your pitching has improved a little bit as well with the new pitching coach. But time will tell. We'll have to see how the season goes. Another thing that complicates the issue is Tim Tadlock has a lifetime contract. And I don't even know if that necessarily complicates it, because in a case like Tim Tadlock, if it is time to move on, then you're not trying to kick him to the curb. You're not trying to swindle him out of money. Ideally, you'd like Tim Tadlock to just retire and mutually move on. But thankfully, I don't have to have this conversation. Thankfully, you don't have to have this conversation. This is a Kirby Hokot decision that he's going to have to put a lot of thought into to get right. When we return, we'll talk Texas Tech softball. This is the Flatland Sports Podcast presented by Midwest Helmets. Welcome back. The Red Raiders went 3-for-1 on the road in Utah, taking 2 of 3 from Utah to improve to 41-3 overall. 17-2 in Big 12 play before surviving a wild midweek contest against Utah State. Texas Tech did drop the one last night against Texas State at the tail end of a long road trip, but showed resilience with explosive offense and strong pitching in the wins while bouncing back after a rare shutout loss. The series was in Salt Lake City, Utah against the Utah Utes. Game 1 was Friday. It was a win 10-2. Texas Tech opened with a convincing victory powered by multiple home runs. Offensive highlights include 12 hits, 4 home runs, 2 triples. Jackie Liz was 3-for-4, 2 home runs, 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. Caitlin Terry was 3-for-4, had a triple, a Little League home run on an errant throw. 1 run batted in, 2 runs scored. Mia Williams was 2-for-3, a home run, 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. Nigeri Kennedy, 2-for-3, 2 doubles, 1 run batted in, and Mia Davis had a home run and 2 runs batted in. In the pitching circle, Nigeri Kennedy was credited with the win. She is 16-2, 5.2 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Samantha Lincoln came in relief, pitched 1.1 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs, 2 strikeouts. A perfect relief job by Samantha Lincoln. Tech scored 5 in the third and pulled away. Utah scored 2 in the sixth. On game 2, Saturday, that was the loss, 0-4. Tech was shut out for just the second time this season in a defensive battle with weather delays. The offensive highlights include 5 hits. Taylor Pinnell was 2 for 3 with a double and a stolen base. Lauren Allred, 1 for 2. Tech left 10 runners on base and went 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Pitching-wise, Caitlin Terry was credited with the loss. She is 15-1. That was her first loss. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 4 runs, none of them earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, all runs earned due to 4 Tech errors. Utah scored 3 unearned runs in the third and 1 in the fourth. And then game 3 on Sunday was a win, 7-1. Tech exploded for 5 home runs to take the series. 8 hits, 5 home runs, 7 runs total, Jackie Liz was 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in, and 2 runs scored. Mia Williams, 2 for 3, a home run, 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. Taylor Pinnell, a home run, 1 run batted in. Lauren Allred, a home run and 1 run batted in. Mia Davis had a triple, and you had key 6th and 7th innings with back-to-back home runs. Nigeri Kennedy was credited with the win, a complete game, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 1 run, it was earned, 4 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Caitlin Terry pitched 1 inning, 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 strikeout. And then the midweek game at Utah State against the Aggies. That was Monday. You got a win, 17-7, even if it's not the Texas Aggies. It's always good to beat Aggies of any kind. Run rule game, 6 innings. Tech survived a wild comeback with a massive 10-run 6th inning. 14 hits, multiple home runs. Lauren Allred was 4 for 4, a 3-run home run, 5 runs batted in. Jasmine Burns had 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. Caitlin Terry had a home run, 3 runs batted in. Mia Williams, 2 runs batted in. Tech trailed 7-6 before exploding for 10 in the 6th. In the circle, Samantha Lincoln, 4.1 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 5 runs, all 5 earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Caitlin Terry was credited with the win. She is 16-1. 1.1 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, 2 strikeouts. Perfect performance by Caitlin Terry. The player of the weekend, Jackie Liz, multiple home runs across the series, including 2 in game 1 and 2 in game 3. With key runs batted and consistent power. The player of the midweek game was Lauren Allred, 4 for 4, 5 runs batted in, and a 3-run home run in a decisive 6th inning. The official stat of the weekend, 24 runs scored in the Utah series, 10 plus 0 plus 7 plus 17 against Utah State. 5 home runs in the series clinching win. Nigeri Kennedy with multiple strong outings, including 11 strikeouts. Highlights explosive offense, power hitting, and the ability to bounce back after a rare shutout. Something that we really needed and hadn't seen from this team, and may be very, very positive moving forward, despite taking a loss. Texas Tech offensively remains one of the most potent in the country, with multiple home runs and big innings from Liz, Williams, Pinnell, Allred, and Terry. And that usually is something that's a little concerning from a postseason standpoint, because when you get teams that are at the highest level, offense doesn't always carry over. Sometimes you just hit a wall. But in this case here, pitching depth, as usual with Nigeri Kennedy, but also Terry and Lincoln, absolutely shines. This is the team to beat, in my opinion, in the Women's College World Series. Multiple players contributing across the lineup with power and timely production. And a road series win over Utah, 2-1 plus a midweek victory, improves the Big 12 record 17-2. Strong resilience shown in the wacky midweek win, but continues to be a top team nationally. And you just kind of didn't have it against Texas State, unfortunately. Upcoming games, there is a series this weekend at Arizona State. Friday's game is at 7 p.m., Saturday at 5 p.m., and Sunday is at 2 p.m. All games can stream on ESPN+. When we come back, we'll have the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is the Flatland Sports Podcast presented by Midwest Helmets. Back for one more. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll start with the good.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Texas Tech picked up a commitment from 5-star edge rusher Anthony Sweeney. Picked the Red Raiders over Blue Bloods like Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M, LSU, and Oregon. The Red Raiders under Joe McGuire now sitting at the number 2 recruiting class nationally in the 2027 cycle. It is early. I will give you that, of course. Texas Tech typically sitting in the top 5 at this time of year before landing somewhere in the top 25. But Joe McGuire's staff is building something dangerous. This is I believe your 3rd 5-star recruit for the 2027 class. You've had 5 commit just in the last 12 months. Just an absolute, frankly, just an absolute change to what has ever happened at Texas Tech. And the expectations are sky high for a Big 12 title run and a college football playoff push in 26 and beyond. Let's get a bad.
It's so dumb.
Oh, it's so dumb. It's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
Washington, as in the Washington Redskins, just unveiled a new Commanders logo, and just a swing and a miss. So they tried to stick a spear in there, I think as a throwback to the old Redskins name. Actually, if I'm being honest, it's more of a way to try to appease the fans who've been clamoring to get the Redskins back without actually getting the Redskins back. And if you look at I'll put it up on the screen, if you look at the way the W is designed, this whole thing makes no sense at all. It's one of those weird, like, optical illusion type deals. My question, why are you trying to stick a spear in there at all? How in the world does that make sense if you're the Commanders? What does a spear have to do with the Commanders? It's dumb. Just bring the Redskins back already. Bring the logo. Bring Chief Whitefoot back. Or call them the Warriors and bring the old logo back if you can't stomach putting the Redskins back in name. But if you're not going to do that, if you're going to stick with the Commander's name, then let's put an actual Commander on the logo. Stick George Washington on the old circle logo instead of trying to do anything related to Native Americans, as you've decided is too offensive. Although something tells me that putting Washington in place of Chief Whitecalf would be even more offensive than just going back to the original Redskins. But I digress. Let's do an ugly.
Whoa. This is worthless.
It's less than worthless, my boy.
So, if you are a Houston Cougar fan and you were hoping to watch the Houston Cougars spring game in a couple weeks, bring a lawn chair. Your spring game on Saturday got moved to the practice field. Why? TDCU Stadium is now unavailable because of player safety concerns from damage to the turf caused by a recent Easter Sunday event. You know those moms, they take those Easter eggs very seriously. And never ever let it be known that Houston celebrates the death and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ half-ass. So the stadium essentially ruined, the turf essentially ruined by an Easter egg service or an egg hunt or whatever in the world they were doing over there. I didn't see what actually happened. So no spring game at TDECU. Instead, it will be at the practice field. Bring a lawn chair, maybe a grill. Just go have fun with it, Houston, assuming they'll let you in. And if not, take to the parking lots and tailgate for it. But not an ideal way to start spring. So that is all I've got for you. Please, again, take a moment to like and subscribe to the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Special thanks again to Midwest Helmets. If you're looking for a high-quality custom football helmet like the one behind me, Midwest Helmets has you covered. Mention Flatland Sports in your order request and receive 10% off your custom football helmet. For Flatland Sports, I am Christopher Johnson. Thank you so much for taking the time today, and Wreck 'em Tech.